I am Yasmina and I am the face behind Word of Mama. For those of you who already know me, you already know that I've been wanting to do this forever now. So my youngest son, Carl, has just turned 8 months. So I'm finally getting a bit more sleep. Things are settling down a bit. And I finally have time to do it. So I'm not gonna wait anymore for the perfect timing or for the identity of the vlog to come together. I'm not gonna wait for the perfect lighting today. It is gray and raining. I'm certainly not gonna wait for the perfect hair day, obviously. I'm just gonna be spontaneous about it. That's the way I am, and that's the way I want my vlog to be. So I'm just gonna go ahead, record my first video and see how it goes. And I'm gonna start off telling you a bit about my background, where I come from, and what has led me to wanting to do a vlog. And I have my youngest son, who is just sitting right over there with us. I am a mother of two. Matteo is 2.5 years, and Carl has just turned 8 months. I am what you would call an expat mom. So when my husband proposed, he asked if I was willing to move a lot with him. And I said, yeah, what the heck? I want to marry you so bad. I will move wherever you need to move. So we've been in Switzerland for the past 2 years. And before that, we used to live in Singapore. And Singapore is the place where I spent most of my first pregnancy. And just so you know, my pregnancy started off a bit annoying in the sense that I am always sick. For 6 months or so, I have to take a medicine to keep me from vomiting every 10 minutes. I can't keep anything down. I lose a lot of weight and I have a big lack of energy. So I found myself in a new country with no one I knew. I was just discovering the place and the people, and sick all the time. And I was looking for a doctor back then. I found Dr. Haggerty, and for those of you who live in Singapore or who have ever been in Singapore, I'm sure you have already heard of Dr. Haggerty. Dr. Haggerty is this tiny woman with a face full of beautiful life wrinkles. She is always smiling. She lifts your spirits up by just looking at you. She is always barefoot. She sits on this giant gym ball, and this tells you a lot about who she is. So no cocky big doctor's chair, just a giant gym ball which she sits on. And Dr. Haggerty was a very soothing and reassuring doctor. I remember one time I had to have an IV put because I was super dehydrated, and they used to have this hospital bed. She sat down next to me, she crossed her legs, held my hand, and made me feel like I had a mother figure right there with me while my mom was miles and miles away. And that's pretty much what our interaction was like. She had a super personal approach. She would answer every single little question I had. She recommended I take prenatal classes at a certain center which was called Mother and Child Center. These prenatal classes were a gem. I had to drag my husband there, but later on we figured it was really, really useful, really helpful for the pregnancy, for the delivery, for the weeks after postpartum, and for the breastfeeding. They had a really, really friendly approach, really laid back, empowering. The midwives there, they were simply outstanding. They kept telling us to let our body do what it was supposed to do, basically. Just let go. They did tell us about everything that could go wrong, and they did tell us about all the dangers of the medicines that could be given to us. But they let us know, and that's what I wanted people back in my home country to know. They let us know that we have a choice, We can make things happen the way we want them to happen. The doctors say are not sacred. You do need a medical team surrounding you when you're delivering, but you have a say. You could have a birth plan, you could have music playing in the background, and you need to know that. And it was really enriching. They also offered a great deal of exchange sessions and coffee get-togethers with new moms. And it was an eye-opener because I figured that it was really important for moms to just talk about their experience and know what other moms out there are going through. And it brings me to this other thing that inspired me a lot. Since I was always sick for a few months, the only thing I could do, I remember my husband used to go to work at 7 a.m. and come back at 7 p.m. and find me sitting in the same spot in bed, going back and forth to the bathroom to throw up and come back to get some rest. So all I could do back then was watch TV. And I was watching a lot of cooking channels, which is my ultimate passion. And the one other thing that I was doing was, surf on the net. And that's when I found out about vlogging. And that's when I discovered it's Judy life. So Judy is an amazing person, always smiling, always positive. She does get, frustrated and mad and crazy with the children, but she's always smiling. Judy started off as a beauty guru, so she doesn't like to be called that, but she started off with beauty tutorials and makeup hauls and stuff like that. And then she has a daily vlog. She vlogs her family. So you live with her. You see her getting pregnant with her first baby and then pregnant with her twin girls, and you see them evolving. You see the issues that she has on a daily basis and how she gets over it. And it turned out to be really, really helpful. It was like having a friend who I was checking on every single day, see how she was doing, how the babies were doing, and it inspired me a lot. And ever since I discovered Judy, I decided I was gonna have a vlog of my own. And one other inspiring moment was my neighbor Valerie. Val, I met in the condo I used to live in Singapore. Really, really inspiring person. I used to love being around her and seeing how she would be behaving around her daughter, all the things that she was teaching her. She is this creative, generous person. She was so generous with the tips and all the advice that she used to give me, and she inspired me in so many different ways as well. I learned a lot of different things from her culture, from the Philippines, and it dawned on me that all I really wanted was, observe other mothers, ask them questions, yes. And I noticed that soothing and reassuring and smiling and laid back are words that come back a lot in my speech, when maybe because that's what I felt I needed back then, and that's what I still feel I need today as a mother of two, as a wife, as a woman. I still remember after my delivery, because I had to go back to my home country to give birth. It was around Christmas time and we were gonna go back there anyways, So we figured it would be nice to give birth to our first baby with family and friends around. And then when I went back home, I was overwhelmed. All the hormonal changes. Yes, boo-boo. All the hormonal changes, the exhaustion, I needed to sleep so bad, the frustration, because I really, really wanted to breastfeed. And then I remembered that a friend of ours, a mother of 3, came by to congratulate us. Yeah. And And she just saw me restless and overwhelmed. And she just sat with me and gave me amazing advice that made a huge difference. I just needed to hear it from a mother who had been there, gone through that. And, she told me, for example, that if you really want to breastfeed, you have to know that it's not going to be easy. And you have to know that it might be painful the first couple of days, and it might be really, really frustrating, but it's going to be okay. I mean, if you do know that, you do know that it's going to get better. And wow, did it make a huge difference. I sure had read about this a whole lot, and I knew this from my prenatal classes, but I needed to hear it from someone real, someone who had concretely lived it. And it was magical. She let the people around me know what I needed at that time, because she knew perfectly well what I needed. And I still remember a cousin actually, who stopped by as well to congratulate me at that time. And she came by with a bag full of products. And these were the products that helped her, because she had given birth like a few months before me. And she was giving me this bag, telling me, these are the things that got me through these past couple of months. And I'm sure it's going to help you in one way or another. It even had earplugs for my husband. And it was a funny way to say, we know what you're going through, and it's going to get better. It gets better. So it dawned on me. Don't get me wrong. It was the most precious thing I had ever gotten. Not because it was expensive or rare or anything like that, but it was a bag of products that she had gotten with her from Paris. And it was basically this generosity, of just sharing with me what had worked for her. And it was basically like a treasure for me. And it dawned on me that all a mother really needs is to hear from another mother. Sometimes, and just sometimes, you are too confined in your environment. You just need to hear from people other than your mother and your mother-in-law or your friends or your sister. You just need to hear from a stranger or from someone you meet at your prenatal class. You just need to see new possibilities, new alternatives, new way of doing things. I am a super curious person, and I love to read, and my husband loves to read even more. We had read a lot about getting pregnant, giving birth, educating our children, but still I felt I needed much, much more once I was faced with this whole new experience. So every time, and I still do that, every time I meet someone, I can't stop asking questions about everything and anything really. Even if I don't agree with the person whatsoever, and even if I don't share anything in common, there is always something that I could benefit from, There is always something good for you to take from other parents' say. And that's it. I mean, the greatest gift, yes, you agree, right? The greatest gift a parent could be given is another parent's input. And not the intrusive kind, Just, a word saying, we know what you're going through, we've been there, it's gonna get better. This is the way we did it. There are several ways, but you have to find a middle ground where you feel comfortable, something that's adapted to you and your way of life. And I figured that's exactly what I want to do, and I started doing just that. So it just happened that I got pregnant before the rest of my friends. But once my friends started getting pregnant and having children, they started, showering me with questions, all sorts of questions. And I loved that because I had so much to share. I had so much to give. So once I was asked the questions, I couldn't shut up. And the questions kept on coming. And I loved that feeling. I loved the feeling of helping a newly mom. So this is what I wish for my vlog to be. I wish that I can help other parents or people who are thinking of conceiving. I would like them to benefit from my stories, from where I've been. I feel extremely privileged. I have 2 beautiful sons. I travel a lot. I have learned a whole lot of new things from a whole lot of different cultures, a whole lot of new people and different backgrounds and a different way of looking at things. And it has helped me a great deal decide what I want and what I don't want. If you can relate in one way or another to anything I'm saying, I'm sure it will help. If you can relate negatively or positively, or say this is the way I want to do things and this is not what I want, well, this is exactly what I wish to fulfill. So this is what my vlog is gonna be about. I am gonna share with you my experience, my stories, the good, the bad, the tips, all of the things I have learned along the way. From conceiving to pregnancy to delivery to upbringing. I will share all of the issues I had and still am having, and the ways I found to get through it. I am new to this. Don't get me wrong, I am not a professional nor an expert. So someone has joined me here for the finale. So guys, I am new to this, but I will keep it as real as possible. I will try, I say I will try because I hope I am not too optimistic about my time management, but I will try to upload 1 video per week. And then I will definitely share with you all of the amazing people that I meet and that bring me so much. I will be on the lookout for all the new baby care and baby products out there, so I will keep you in the loop about that. I will be as present as possible on my social media, especially on my Instagram, where I will be sharing with you all of our daily activities, all of the beautiful things that I bump into, and all of the relevant things, really. That's it, guys. I do hope you subscribe. Your feedback is highly, highly appreciated. And if you've ever got a question for me, I am happy to answer that. I will write down below all of the relevant links. See you next week, guys.